sure the officials have those drive footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Well, final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Now Jones. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who's in his 17th season now in the NFL, an 8-time Pro Bowler to boot. It's Phillip Rivers.
One way you become the all-time leading passer for your team is pure talent, and Phillip Rivers has plenty of that. But there's also dedication to your craft and the willingness to get better all the time. Phillip Rivers has a van set up with a driver so that when he goes to and from practice, he's able to watch tape and find ways to improve his mechanics each and every day.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That's a gain of 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. This is brought in at the 21.
Pharaoh Cooper on the return.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Bridgewater and the Panthers going to come up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Curtis Samuels, the ball.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second and 4. From the gun, Bridgewater. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Carolina.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Bridgewater now from the 50. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas, and it's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Found his target, it's Anderson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. And that's complete to McCaffrey. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards, the final tally. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. From the 2, here's 1st and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Now the try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Now Jones. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Tampa Bay taking the field again here, Charles. And before this next drive, let's visit what was easily the most anticipated game of Week 1. Their game against New Orleans. New Orleans getting the better of the Buccaneers, 34-23. Of course, it was the debut of Tom Brady in pewter against...
Say it again. Say it again.
Oh, pewter? Yeah, that's the color, right?
Tom Brady in pewter. We've known this was coming, yet finally it was here. And I don't know about you, but it still seems surreal to see Tom Brady in that uniform.
Yeah, it was strange, and unfortunately a couple of costly interceptions for TB12 that really helped New Orleans win this football game.
Yeah, and look, he's going to play better down the road. His head coach, Bruce Arians, said it really well. He came out lighting it up, but then they had some poor drives, penalties, turnovers. That's what cost them. And, of course, they ran into the three-time defending division champs, the New Orleans Saints. That's a good football team. So that's okay. One game, they'll get better, but it's going to take a little bit of time with all these new pieces being added in Tampa.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Rivers now to throw on first down. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Buccaneer first, to pick up of 12 yards.
7-yard line.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1.
Into the first quarter.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second and 8 coming up. Working out of the gun, Rivers. This for his running back, McCoy. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56. 89.
Out of the shotgun, it's McCoy. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Jermaine Carter.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Rivers. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On the delay, Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? the back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Carolina working back out here for their next offensive possession. Wanted to look back to what they did in week 1, Charles. A loss to Las Vegas, 34-30. Bit of a disappointment for Matt Rule in his coaching debut at the NFL level. And they did come back from 12 down with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to take the lead, but then that was only to see Josh Jacobs score the 3rd of his 3 touchdowns, which was ultimately the game winner. So a bit of a disappointment not only for him, but of course they had a quarterback change in the offseason as well.
Yeah, they're the definition of building, but that doesn't mean they won't be competitive. So you already mentioned it, making that comeback to take the lead before ultimately losing the ball game. I think we're going to see a lot of that from this team all year long. Remember, the turnover is huge there. Head coach, new quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, so many new faces on defense. The fewest returning starters of any team in the NFL. So they go to Tampa next week to take on Tom Brady. He's going to be ticked off after losing his opener. And then they go on the road again, cross-country, to take on the Chargers in Los Angeles.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Bridgewater going to give this to McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And there's Christian McCaffrey with another run CMC as he's known in the Carolina area. Easily the most productive running back in the league last season. 2,392 yards from scrimmage. He's just so dangerous every time he gets the football. Whether you hand it to him, throw it to him out of the backfield, just imagine if they had the guts to let him return kicks as well. This guy is a true triple threat.
A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Christian McCaffrey, last year's catch leader among running backs, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Joey Sly on now for the Panthers. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And I don't think this had a tied here in quarter number 2. Comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. Operating from the gun, Rivers finds his man, Watson, over the middle, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A nice gain of 21 yards.
39-yard line.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rivers. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Again, it's Rivers. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt, but with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to run this with a tight end, and he gets the 4. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First down, Rivers. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Mike Evans has been so good downfield. I think that sometimes we end up taking him for granted. When you look back at what he's done each year in the league, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver each and every time. Now paired with the prolific Tom Brady, those numbers could really jump.
From the gun, Rivers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Rivers. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Rivers. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment and you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin.
Bradley.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Cooper on the return. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
On the return. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Bridgewater. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
24 yards.
That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Catch there by DJ Moore, who's really starting to come into his own. And he's one of that pack of receivers in the NFL now that looks like running backs and plays like that as well when they catch the football. Last year, nearly 1,200 yards receiving, 78 yards per game, and that ranked in the top 10 in the league. Expect those numbers to continue to grow.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Bridgewater sacks. A loss of a yard.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognized that he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Bridgewater. And he floated one out there incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 1st and 10 and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
He was taken
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Rivers now. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
40-yard line.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
He was covered by Dante.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Good catch there by Mike Evans, and his ability to get downfield and create big plays is something that Tom Brady hasn't had on the perimeter in the last few seasons. Mike Evans often fools defenders with his speed because he's so long. People think he can't be that fast, but he is, and combines it with terrific hands and makes big catches.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Panthers about ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Bridgewater going to lead the Panthers up here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. All right, CD, I want to fit in your preseason predictions here. This is now our 5th year together in the booth. Hard to believe time flies, but it's an annual tradition that you tell us how you think things are going to shape up in each conference. Let's start with your thoughts on the AFC.
All right, let's start in the East. I like the Bills. In the South, I like Indianapolis despite their loss on opening day. In the North, I like Baltimore, and out West, of course, I like Kansas City. For wild cards, I like the Chargers coming out of the West. I think that in the East, New England is going to get the nod. And then out of the North, I'm taking Pittsburgh. Remember, we got that extra team in the playoffs this year. And then when the playoffs break down, I do think it's going to come down to Baltimore and Kansas City in the AFC. And Baltimore, by a nose, goes to the Super Bowl.
And just to be different from you, I like your conference championship matchup. I'll take Mahomes and the Chiefs heading back to the Super Bowl yet again.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They go play action. Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now second and 10.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A second down throw for Rivers. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. From the gun, Rivers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson to the 29 before he's out of bounds. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. Bridgewater and the Panthers going to come up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll throw from the gun. Flushed out right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And his pass incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Jason Pierre-Paul able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation, and that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Again, it's Jones. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Rivers from the gun on third down. It's complete. It's Miller. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. So the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency? Got to walk that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Bridgewater now from the 50. That's DeMore. He's inside the 30. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Second and 10 now from the 27. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Now Bridgewater. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And down inside the 15 he goes. Complete. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete. This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards him.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete as well.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Bridgewater to throw. And no, it's incomplete. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. A kneel down here from Rivers, and that should be it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to 0. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.